Let me fix this microphone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. It is your boy JJ right here once again at JJ's PC Builds. Alright, we're just going to jump on it. Today I think we're going to take a little bit of a deep dive down to MicroCenter. MicroCenter has some good deals, so make sure you all, if you're near a MicroCenter, make sure you all check them out. They are good. And this is not a sponsored video. I really wish it would be, but it's not a sponsored video. But make sure you check your MicroCenter out. They have everything you need when it comes to your computer needs. They have motherboards, they have keyboards, mouses, they have processors, they have graphics cards, they have RAM, they have everything you need to build your PC. So if that's what you're looking to do, then make sure you go down to MicroCenter. And just to let y'all know, if this is your first time here, make sure you like and subscribe. Basically, subscribe, watch the videos, put a like on them. That would be much appreciated. We're still working towards the 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 watch hours. And I want to say hello and welcome to the family, to all the new subscribers that have subscribed. Good to see you here, and welcome to JJ's PC Builds family. Alright, and I said we're going to jump into MicroCenter. We're going to get down to MicroCenter. Well, like I told you, we're going to have a trip as soon as I get things fixed up on my vehicle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take let's say it's about 3.5 hour drive. I'll take y'all along with me when I get ready to do that, and then we'll go down to MicroCenter. I'm probably going to get things summed up. Excuse me. I'm going to get some things summed up on my vehicle so that way I can make the trip, and it'll be an awesome trip. Also, too, that little cat video, make sure you get in on that and try to guess what the cat was looking at. So make sure you leave your comments on that video. It's 11-second video, so you know when we go to have the upcoming live video that's going to be coming soon this week on Thursday. So this Thursday we're going to have a live one. It's going to be 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, just to let you know. So alright, we got all those announcements out of the way. Make sure you stick around to the end so that way you get my conclusion on everything, and then we can go from there. Alrighty, let's go ahead and flip over to the action screen. And let me go ahead and move myself back over here to the other side so that way y'all can see me a little bit better. Alright, we are at MicroCenter. Okay. Now, the one thing that I noticed about MicroCenter, I really wish they would think about doing this instead of keeping it all into their store, would be to have their site to where you can shop on their site without having to go and buy in store. I understand they're trying to keep the product line into their store so that way they can pay their employees and everything else. That is a good way to do things if you want to keep everybody coming back to your store, but there are some people that can't get there. Now, if you have to where you can take and order online, and then you call the store and you pay over at your store, then that would be something different too, and that way you guys ship it out and boom, done. But anyway, we're gonna see what it's gonna cost. We're gonna see what it's gonna cost to shop at MicroCenter to build a whole PC. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring up a calculator. We got a calculator right here. So that way we can see what it's going to cost to build a whole PC. Now, this is going to be something different, and this is going to be like if you're going to the MicroCenter store and if you're going to be shopping. So, if you're going to be going for the high end or the mid end or the low end, let's just see what we can find out on processors and CPUs and start from there. Okay, so are we looking to do an AM4 or AM5? We haven't done any AM5 builds, pricing builds. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's do. See, that's going to be a little bit difficult. Okay, but you know what? Price to performance. That's what we're looking for. Are we looking for the i5, the i7? Be honest with you. Let's just go ahead and look at the motherboard combos and see what they got on the combos. Start there. You never know, with the processor and the motherboard, you can always get a good combo. They got one here for $648. It's the 690. It's the 690. Let's roll down. They got the 13700 with the P690. They got, this is AM4, and this is 13th gen. This is 12th gen. See the price difference? It looks like it's higher for the 12th gen than it is the 13th gen. That's kind of odd to see that. Save $20 there. I mean, that's an i7 13th gen processor, the 13700, and it's the K version. That's not bad. It's DDR4, and for $579 with those two, that would be a good deal. Believe it or not, that would be a great deal. Or you get the 5700G with, let's see, comes with the X570 Mag Tomahawk. That's a good deal. I know everybody says, well, there's a difference between a 100-watt processor and a 65-watt processor. Well, the 100-watt processor will go up to about 139 or so odd watts. But a 65-watt processor, truthfully, with the processor with the low amount of watts, and you get the same performance, that's what you look for. I mean, with this board right here, this X570, this is the S variant. This is not a bad deal right here. Not a bad deal at all. See, because you get the 5600G for $50 more, you get the 5700G. I would do the 5700G, not knocking the 5600G, because that comes with the same board. Now, if you let's say you already have the Ryzen 7 5700G, and let's say you wanted the X570S. Then guess what? Just get the motherboard with the combo, and guess what? You get an extra processor on top of it. You get the 5600G on top of it. It's a good deal. I mean, if you take $109 off of this just for the motherboard alone is $220 for the X570S. So that's not bad, looking at prices on motherboards and everything else, just to say. And both of those have integrated graphics. Okay, even though that they got 15 megs of L3 cache, still, to me, it runs, I think it runs just as good as if it was the X variant, truthfully. I've never run the X variant yet, but I will in time, so let's keep moving on. You get a 13600 right here for $500. Not price to performance for me. You get the i7 right here with the same motherboard, and you get it for $347, and it's a 12th gen. That is a really good deal. It's the 12700K, and it's got the integrated graphics built onto it. Plus, with Intel, they really don't take away much from the L3 cache and the L2 cache just to make up for the iGPU. So, you know, it's kind of a handshake with them on that. $347, that's a pretty good deal for a 12th gen. In my opinion, that's a really good deal. Still the same deal. So, and also too, you look at the motherboard, you know, this one here and this one here, you even get they're the same price, but one's with DDR5 and Wi-Fi. That's not bad. And DDR4, they're equal in price. I mean, if you were to get either one of these combos, it's still a win-win, unless you have to buy the DDR5. Now that's going to be the loss of this. But for $136, I'm sure you can probably get some decent DDR5. So that's something to think about too. 347 DDR4. That's a Prime Plus board. It's the Z690. It's an Asus board. 347. It's not too bad. This right here, you get the Ryzen 5 4500 with the X570S. 284. Well, you figure the processors, they're only going to charge about $80 for it, so you still get a $200 motherboard. Still a free processor, if you look at it like that. You got the 12700, that's not a good deal. You got this is not a good deal, because you can go back up for $300 and get that board. So looking at the motherboard combos, they're going to have many. I'm just looking at the top-notch ones that they got. See, they got one here for $1,400, and that comes with the RAM. And this is the X5 series, and it comes with all that for $1,400. That's not even buying the hard drive, the M.2 drive. That's not even buying the PC case. That's all. All of that's excluded, because you know you're going to have a good PC case. On top of it, they're using the X variant, and you're not going to... Well, I don't know about that. When I get there to sample those motherboards and processors, I am going to check and see if they have a really good iGPU, if they have an iGPU at all. So we will get there when we get there. So they got the 12900KS, $789. That comes back to what motherboard would I buy? And what deal would I get? I would come all the way back up here, and I would go right here and look at these two deals. Since I run DDR4, or would I rather go to a DDR5 platform? You know what? I would go with the DDR5 platform for the simple fact you can still run 12th gen right here, 12th gen, and you're on the new platform. So that means you can upgrade it to the 13th gen and not have a problem. So if the 12th gen platform and the 13th gen platform, and plus you get Wi-Fi, you know, and all that for $347, let's investigate this. For $347, it's a 12 core processor. You know, it's an Asus motherboard. I mean, compatibility. It's compatible with all these motherboards. It's an Alder Lake, 12 cores. The L2 is 12 megabyte and the L3 is 25. Okay, think about this very carefully. Okay, I mean, with that right there, that right there is perfect for the price. I mean, turbo speeds up to 5 gigahertz. If you're running 4th gen, you're probably not getting the 5 gigahertz being on the norm. I mean, it's got 20 processing threads, so that's 10 and 20. So it's got an Intel UHD graphics 770. That's not bad. It's a 1.5 gigahertz, but don't quote them on that. See, they did that with the Ryzen 5 5600G, where they said it only goes up to 1900 megahertz, which I found out in the BIOS it goes up to 2300 megahertz fully clocked. Okay, so 1500, I would believe it would match up to over 2400. So don't quote them on that just yet. The memory type goes up to 4800. It could probably clock out at 5000 or greater. 128 gigabytes max memory, that's good. Bandwidth is good. CPU only, cooler not included, but that's okay. You get a $20 cooler, boom, you're off to the races. The BIOS is 12 by 64 megs. UEFI, let's see. CPU support, it supports the i3, i5, i7, Celeron, Pentium, and i9. And it's the LGA 1700. And its max speeds are at 6,000. My goodness. My goodness. Look at this. It supports 32 gigabytes per slot on the RAM. Each. M.2 is 2280, which it'll fit. It's got... This board's got so much. And it's even got Bluetooth. Oh my God. It supports PCIe 4.0x16, 5.0x16, 3.0x16, and X1. Oh my God. For that price. Oh my goodness. Warranty. Yeah, we know about the warranties. That's not the problem. Okay. Now you're wondering, for that price, yes, I would do that. I would do that for $347.98. Add that to my cart. Okay. So now we got the motherboard and we got the processor. Now let's go shopping up at the top and go to PC parts. We got the processor. We got the motherboard. We want computer memory next. Let's see what we can find. DDR5. It's 5600 at 32 gigabytes for $299. This is 32 gigabytes of right here, $164.99. G-Skill Trident Z5, 32 gigabytes of DDR5, 6,000 megatransfers. It's a good memory kit, and it's RGB. So for all that, you know, 164 $99's not bad. So we're up to $512.97. Now, since we got the 32 gigs of RAM, we got the processor and the motherboard. Now let's go and look at the next piece. Drives and storage. Okay. Now, I wouldn't pay that kind of price if they paid me to pay it. I know that it's just something I would not buy. See, now the 4 terabyte right here would be worth it, for 139, but you can get it cheaper on Amazon if you were to do it. But we're just shopping at MicroCenter right now. So this is 2 terabytes at 5,900. No siree. That's 2 terabytes at 5,400. No siree. I would not buy that. That would not be something I would do. Not even for that kind of price. That's 1 terabyte. That's 2 terabytes. No. See, this is how you shop. I mean, this is how I shop. I look at all the deals. I mean, what deals are they going to have for me? And that's what you have to think about. When you buy for you, you say to yourself, what deals are they going to have for me? What are they going to do for me? Okay? And that's what you think to yourself. What are they going to do for you? I mean, you can buy something bigger off of that, but just for sake of this video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to say we're going to get this one here for $199.99 because it's 8 terabytes. 8 terabytes for $199.99, and that's good if you're doing content creating. So that means now you got 8 terabytes more you can add to your PC. So let's say we add the 199.99, and that's up to 712, but that's not including the M.2. That is not including the M.2. So we'll type in M.2. And see what price we can come up with. Let's see what we can find that's of value. That's not going to kick the bank. Let's see. Now that would not work at all, as it's NGFF, and that's not what we're using. And right here, $159.99. This will work. This will work right here. So we add on $159.99. So we're at $872.95. That's not even, now we're going to the power supply. Now we are going to the power supply. So, and the power supply we would really need would be, you can get an 80 plus gold right here. This would be the better deal for 40 bucks more. Just to make sure. I mean, just to make sure. Let's see. This one right here. This is the E version. Form factor 1000 watts right here. This will work right here. So for $179.99, that'll work right there. That's now we got the power supply. Now we need to worry about the case. Now we need to worry about the case. So let's find computer cases, and let's say we're doing mid-tower cases, but we want airflow. So we'll do an ATX case, and let's see, this is the H5 tempered glass right here. Oh, I like that case. That case would be really good. ATX, micro ATX, mini ITX, and what does it come with? For $94.99, what does it come with? That's going to be the thing. See, product information. See, fixed motherboard tray. Included fans are two 120 mil fans. Okay, so okay. Well, for $94.99, let's go ahead and add that to the cart. I like the case. It's airflowy, and let's say 94.99, and add that to the build. Okay, so now what the fans, it says it's 120 mil fans. I'd say let's go look at the fans. But before we looked at the fans, we know we need a heat sink. So why not get 240 mil AIO, which would be something like this. Or we can go like a $29 one with the Be Quiet Pure Rock Slim 2 CPU. We can go that route. But why not go AIO? So let's see, we'll just type in AIO and see what we can get on price. We know the size of the case. We only can get one with two in the back and two on top, two in the front. Okay. I like the temperature gauge thing on them. So let's say I wanted to get the Z53 for $239. Let's add the 239. Okay, so now we have the cooler for the processor. We have, and that eliminates two fans. So we come with two fans, so we're only missing one fan. So we know it's ARGB. So let's just say we need an ARGB fan. ARGB fans. Okay, so it's V2, it's a black case, so we want to stay with the ARGB lighting, independently LEDs, 140 mil. Now 120 halos, so you get just one fan for 27. They don't have that much in fans. Well, let's kind of see why. They got one that's sold out. Yeah, when it comes to fans, they don't have much. They need, and MicroCenter, you need to understand something. People like to take and buy a cheap case and put their own type of fans in there and do their own custom builds. So you guys need to custom it up and get cheaper cases to put like 6 fans or 5 fans or whatever. You know, you need to put some package deals in there. Let's say I only need one fan, so I'm going to do the $29.99 and add the one fan. So we're going to do the $29.99, and that takes care of the fanage that's on the case. That takes care of the cooler for the CPU. Now the last little bit, it's the graphics card. Now that I have the whole PC, and now I know what kind of case I'm gonna get, let's see, let's go with the graphics card, see what we can get. Do we want a 40 series, a 30? You know they ain't gonna have you know they're not gonna have any of the, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. And the graphics card to choose. Okay, let's say we're going to do the 40 series. Yep, we'll say we'll do the 40 series. Well, they got the, wow, they got this one right here for $16.49. That's close to MSRP. Okay, let's say I got the deal of a century right there, and if I could save, I'm going to see if I can save an extra $100 and get it for below MSRP. Okay, now this, if I get this card right here, I have everything set up for the fact of to run this card with this motherboard. It's top end, and this would be the utmost builds of all builds, I would say. So let's say we add the 1649.99, 3,060. That's not including the taxes or anything else, so do put a couple hundred off extra. Let's say it's a $3,500 build. Okay, and that's the kind of build you want to do. Okay, so, but let's say you want to go cheaper on the graphics card. So we'll take off the 1649.99, and we'll go back to the same price we had. Let's say you want to go cheaper on the card. Let's say you want to do a 4070 Ti, which is $799. So we add the $799, and it's a $2,200 build. So let's say you want to go cheaper than that, so you take off the $799.99, okay, and then you go and look for something cheaper. I mean, that depends on what you want to buy, you know, when it comes to the graphics card. You know, looks like the bottom line price is going to be $799. Especially at MicroCenter, the bottom line price is probably going to be $799. And you all are seeing this as I'm going through it. And that's it. The bottom line price at MicroCenter is going to be $799.99. $800. That is the bottom line. That is the bottom line. So even if you did that, you still got, you can go the 4070 Ti. You know, let's say you want to keep it under 2500. You know that the 3500 would have been a better choice, but let's say you had the 799.99. Okay, so that's the deal. That's the MicroCenter prices right here today. It is the 23rd of January 2023, and you're seeing this is the actual price on a AM5 build, but with, you know, it not being top shelf. This is more or less like the next step down from top shelf. Top shelf would mean that you went and bought the 4090, the RTX 4090, and spent $3,500, or you would have taken bought the 4070 Ti and spent $2,500. Now you guys see what it costs for an AM5 build, and this is with the everything, soup to nuts. Now you see what the price is. I gave you the high end price, and now I give you the low end price. You know, so you got both ends of the prices, and you got the motherboard is at that price is not a bad deal because it's got options. Okay, with it having options, that motherboard's got a lot of options to do a lot of things, and a lot of 12th gen, and I would imagine it does 13th gen. So, because remember, Intel said 12th gen and 13th gen can be mixed. So just keep that in mind. But what can you do? I mean, the proof is in the pudding right in front of you, and I gave you the prices and everything to look at, so you know exactly what the deal is. Okay, now let me close this up really quick. And looking at the price, your low side, a decent low side, you're looking at 20, let's say 2500 for the low side, and that's an Intel build with the 40 series of the NVIDIA video cards, soup to nuts, DDR5, 6000 megahertz. You can't beat it. I mean, what you want something faster? Okay, right now, as it stands, with all the new drivers and everything else, you take what you can get, because over time that system will age and the drivers will get seasoned, and then they'll come up with the new lineup. Oh, and did I tell you all to make sure you got your drink? I got mine. Just to let you know that I do have mine right here, and so on. I know this is going to be like a 40 to 45 minute video, but this is my conclusion. You have two sides to the field right now. You have the low end and you have the high end. Okay? Now, if you want a low end, you see it's going to cost $2,500 for the the DDR5. I'm just going to say DDR5 overall, is because DDR5 will cover the both sides of the field, like your Intel and your AMD. They're both on DDR5. Okay, low side of it, this was an Intel. I know if it was an AMD build, I looked at the price of the motherboard combos, and it was like a couple $100 more than what you had expected. So I went with the Intel build, which gave me a 12th gen processor, which gave me a 600 series motherboard, a good motherboard, and, possibility with some overclocking on that motherboard too. Possibilities that it has a lot of possibilities to it, that, and also too, it has built-in a built-in integrated graphics, and then you plug in a good graphics card. Guess what? You're up $2,200. You got basically two graphics cards in one system. You got all this room and potential for speed, overclocking everything. You have all that potential right there. So 22, 23, 24, say 2,500 for a decent system from the case all the way up. So, and you got an AIO and everything else. I mean, $2,500, that's not bad. I'm going to be honest with you. That's not bad for $2,500. I mean, unless you want to do DDR4, which then you can get it all the way down to less than $1,000. But if you look at it, that's the old platform, and if you're paying almost $1,000, excuse me, for DDR4, you might as well go up to the newest platform and go DDR5. I'm starting to think to myself, with that motherboard and processor combo, that was not a bad deal, because if I look at it, I paid $79.99, $80 for this motherboard, and it's a B450. I paid $159 for the Ryzen 5 5600G. So, looking at those two alone, I mean, soup the nuts, let's say $159 and add $79.99. So that's $239 just for that, and the newest AM5 motherboard is $349.99. So you minus $349.99, and the only difference is $110. The only difference between an AM4 and an Intel 12th gen to 13th gen is $110 and 1 penny. 1 penny. So for the newest platform, $100 difference. If you divide that into two, that means it's only $55 more on each part. So, and the RAM, you get 32 gigs for $179, and it's RGB and everything. But you look at the DDR4 RAM kits with RGB and everything, you're paying for 32 gigs, you're paying what? Almost the same price. You're paying almost $140, $150. Almost the same price. Where's the better deal right now? AM5. Hands down. I hate to say this, AM5. So, but anyway, that's my conclusion. You got it right here from me, and I'm saying it. So, if this, like I said, this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. If you like my videos, put a like on them. We still need 4,000 hours to get to our monetization, and every bit helps, and we do appreciate it. So until the next time in the next video, this is JJ, and we will see you on the next one.